Cool. What up? This is Shad. Big shouts to HipHopCanada.com. Big shouts to Stolen from Africa.
Yes, all my people like yes. What can I say for myself? Where I'm at ain't where I station myself, so I'm grateful I do okay for myself. I want to do better for y'all, I'm afraid of myself.
First off, congratulations with the Juno.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like, it's cool to, yeah, it was cool to just have a moment to celebrate with the team, you know. Yeah, definitely a huge surprise, and, you know, it is what it is. As far as awards go, you know, no one really knows what kind of goes into it or whatever, but whatever anyone takes to your music, it's like great, and so I appreciate it.
Has anything changed like day to day after you add like Juno winning, you know, to your name?
Yeah. Not much, man. You don't get free McDonald's or anything like that, but yeah, it's cool, man. It's like I said, it was like a cool thing to celebrate with G and the whole team, you know. It's cool.
Ballers improve, yo. He even say way to them tunes get better than I polish a Juno. Who knows? My technology is kudo. As long as I keep rocking a few shows, I know models some new clothes.
Why do you feel that the Juno's hip hop category hasn't been televised?
This year, I don't know, you know, they make their choices. If I'm honest, I'm not that upset about it really. Like, I know that there's very few awards that are televised.
Right.
You know, Rock Album of the Year wasn't televised, Alternative Album of the Year wasn't televised. At the same time, you know, the Junos has a history with black music that's like makes people sensitive and understandably so. But you know, to be honest, I wasn't that, you know, irked by it, because I know that they don't televise very many awards. It was televised the previous year when there was a lot of high-profile kind of nominees. But yeah, hopefully, the Junos and, you know, the kind of Canadian music industry in general, I think they kind of now have their ear a little bit more to the ground as far as what's going on with hip-hop in Canada, because I've noticed a swell in support in terms of fan base for a lot of artists, and just like different movements from like, you know, of course Drake and like some of the bigger cats to what Decisive is doing to what's going on with King of the Dot. It's like, yo, the fans are into what's going on in Canadian hip-hop. So, you know, hopefully the Junos and different people in the industry are just continually aware of that and give it its respect.
Keep shining. And I've been known to talk about women on a track or two. I talk to women, I just can't talk for women. That's for you. We need women for that. More women in rap, even tracks like Quali's for women. That's still only half the view of the world. There's no girls rapping, so we only hearing half the truth. What we have to lose, too much, half our youth aren't represented. The better halves of dudes, so we don't hear about
Why do you believe that you are able to acquire a loyal Canadian fan base that allows you to tour and do exclusive performances within Canada, whereas like, you know, other talented Canadian artists can't?
One thing is luck, you know, like I think there's a lot of things that you can do, and then retroactively, if it works out, you say, oh, that was really smart, or that was really smart. But a lot of it is just like, you're just grinding, and sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. And fortunately, things have worked out for me in some ways, and I've been able to sort of like tour across the country. Other than that, you know, just like hard work, and I've always just tried to make like honest music, so I feel like if people connect with it, they connect with it, and it's not like a fake career that's just being propped up by like a single or whatever, where people don't care about you 2 months down the road. I've always tried to make music that it's just like, if someone relates to it, not everybody's gonna relate to it, but if someone relates to it, they're gonna feel it for real, and they're gonna be, you know, they're gonna respect where I'm coming from.
I said she's so off the hook, but when I'm letting go with a telephone, she goes off the wall like a hella old centerfold. Should've left the cell at home, we're breaking up. Can't hear what she's saying, but I get the tone. Now I've never known. Say you mean well, and how come I'm left alone when I need help? This female won't take my calls. It's like pool, that's her cue to break my balls. The games we replay the same each day. Phone tag, hide and seek with the PDA. Off, I'm on course like the PGA. Toward the deep sea cave, where my treasure is kept. Buried like death in the depths where I keep it safe. Just like, hey, we'll keep in touch. Not close like land, just close.
Your sound develops over the years. Did your music influence change with the times, or did they remain the same?
That's a good question too. I think over time, like, I've tried to just be able to express a greater range of like my emotions and my ideas. So sonically, I don't know if I've changed all that much, but you know, I've tried to now be able to like express joy more through music. I think you always start with like your sad songs and stuff that you write when you're feeling down, you know, but now I've started to be like, you know what, I'm in a good mood most of the time. Let me try and express that through music too, and so just try to grow as an artist that way. So yeah, as far as growth goes and change with time, I think it's had more to do with like my growth as a person and as an artist, and less to do with necessarily keeping up with like the hot sounds or whatever. Musically, I just try and connect with whatever I feel. Yeah.
My CDs, man, keep vibing, keep making the best, keep placing your bets. If you fail, keep taking the test. My wrongbar, Toronto connects, dealing daily with the stress. I didn't promise you a rose garden, along with the sunshine. There's gonna be some rain. Lisa Love, singer, ladies.
Which one of your songs means the most to you?
That's a good question. There's a song I did with my mom called "I'll Never Understand" that was about the genocide in Rwanda, which is where my family comes from. But more specifically, it's about like my mom's. She wrote a poem that's in the song that's about her experience dealing with the loss of certain family members and dealing with you know, the process of forgiving, you know, the people who killed her family. And it's just powerful because it's very real, it's very personal, and even though it's about a very specific situation, we can all relate to the idea of like just being hurt with someone doing you wrong and you having to forgive them for yourself, for them also, but for yourself, just to be able to just keep living, you know. So that was really special to be able to be a part of a song like that, especially with my mom. So that one probably stands out. There's another thing that I did on YouTube that's just like 6 minutes of me just rapping for 6 minutes that I feel like if I had to present myself in a nutshell as an MC, as an artist, I'd probably put that forward. So those two probably stand out the most.
Big.
New verse like this, yeah. Angel on my arm, temple in the new dress, sitting on my shoulder. Tell me what to do next. He's like, whatever, don't sweater. Blue next. I guess I'm not Mr. Perfect. Suplex. Now I gotta bounce. Spring rose pecs. Am I talking about a new breath? Am I talking about WWF? No wonder she was walking out. Two-step. I made a left, heading higher. New west. To sit alone in my chamber. Roulette. And now I'm playing with a stranger. Juliet. Love's in danger, but the play ends with two deaths. I'm in old fellow. Trying to be more mellow. Head in hands. Table.
So how does being Canadian, I guess, contribute or inform your perspective on world issues, institutions?
Yeah.
You know, I know, like, you know, during the Bush era, a lot of, you know, artists were like influenced on that to like, you know, speak out or what have you. So
Yeah. Being Canadian.
yeah.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways being Canadian has like affected my perspective. For one thing, we have such a like unique cultural experience being in Canada because for one thing, we get to sort of respect and honor and preserve some of like the culture of where we come from, and then also we interact with all these people from all these different places. And I mean, America is multicultural, but it's like, I don't know, it's more centered around specific certain, like, if you go to Toronto, it's like people are from random places, like places you've never heard of, you know, like, people have never heard of Rwanda, where I'm from. I've never heard of, like, half the places people are from. I remember, like, in my neighborhood in London one year, all these Kurdish kids moved in, they had immigrated from Iraq, and it's like, I don't know where that is, like, you know, so it's like, I think we have a real unique cultural experience here where we're just a part of different worlds, and like we have a world perspective already. It's just kind of inherently there. But even that's not necessarily Canadian. I mean, that's like Toronto, Southwestern Ontario is more multicultural.
That's powerful, man.
But yeah, that's affected my perspective, I think.
I can't sweat trying to make the coolest impression. Trying to get power is a foolish obsession. Why use talent as a tool for oppression? A real king ain't gotta rule with a weapon. I said, what if we went to school for possession instead of jail? They say to stop the crazy talk, Shad, we never will. I guess I still believe love can never fail. Cross eyes on heaven looking crazy as hell.